さんグレン。やめろジョナサン。ジョナサン。ジョナサン。ジョナサンね。ジョナサン。ジョナサン。ジョナサン。ジョナサン。
Time and time again, I've heard it. Brain power is awful. Truly, you are the only judge that matters. Don't follow what others say and hop on the bandwagon. Build your own and write it. I'm here today to defend the greatness of brain power. Brain is often accused of being an Evangelion ripoff. That's absurd. Evangelion takes a lot from Ideon from far back in the 80s. Tomino was the one behind those ideas first, not Anno. Tomino had already started writing Brain before he knew Evangelion. He did admit he began to respond to it during production though. He also hilariously said that if Eva had influenced him too much, it would have ruined Brain. In fact, when it comes down to these two, I prefer Brain. It almost feels as if Tomino took the idea of the Evas even further, to the extent the brains can feel like characters as they themselves develop, hilariously gain passions and hobbies, act on their own much more, and continuously express their love for their pilots and solidarity among each other. The humanistic and sentient side of the brains is very fascinating to see. By the end, I experienced and felt a message about deep love and an optimistic feeling of inspiration. This anime took me places. Before creating Turna Gundam, Tomino wanted to venture into something new, something that wasn't Gundam. This led to his idea of creating a series about organic machines called Brain Power. This series is about true love. It is a hilarious interpretation of it. The love between man and woman, the love between pilot and mech, the love between mother and son, how the brains mirror the emotions of their pilots. I think Brain Power felt like Tomino's strongest interpretation of love to me. Like in Turna, he wanted more women on the staff. He would write female characters and lead them up to the women of the staff to add their femininity to them. Sometimes they'd look at his dialogue for the women and reject it and write their own. He also wanted to make it as un-Gundam as possible. The staff would stop him constantly from making Brain too Gundam. I think many times what is talked about Brain from people is the opening. The storyboards were greenlit by the producer, despite that he was horrified to see what Tomino did with it with all the naked women. Tomino's prediction for Brain for the future was interesting also. He knew how out there this was, and the freedom he was given to experiment. As a result, he said people wouldn't get it until at least 20 years later. And here we are now, with a Blu-ray release last year and a wave of new fans. Brain is fascinating in how bizarre and extreme the story and characters are. Think about the strangest moments of Gundam ZZ and Victory Gundam. Brain has entire episodes full of madness and irrational behavior. Another amusing part of Brain is the unknown. The humans, even the best researchers, do not understand what exactly the orphan and brains are. There is this disturbing sense of mystery where the brains and the orphan keep surprising the humans as they slowly reveal the strange and unpredictable ways in which they function. Unlike Gundam, the brain-powered are organic machines that form a parent-child bond with their pilots. They can feel each other's emotions, understand each other, and depend on each other in order to function efficiently as a team. When someone views the resurrection of a brain-powered, they see that they behave like babies, evidently so. It's made clear what they are supposed to be viewed as by the constant use of baby lullabies and baby cries that play in the background. At first, I was confused why they moved the way they did as machines. Eventually, I began to somewhat understand the method of presentation of the staff, that being to remember that these are organic machines that look somewhat like insects. Unlike Gundam formations, the brain-powered spread apart in an unorganized fashion and stay still in the air near each other. I figured they were purposely animated to look like that to mirror how spiders and intertwined webs look like. It fits the organic and insect-like approach the staff took with them. But there's a tragedy to the brains. They can be used for good or bad purposes. They don't know any better, as all it takes is the good morale of the pilot and their words to get them to synchronize with them. On the other hand, if the pilot develops a really low morale, the brain can reject them. Still, it can be tragic to see a baby born be used wickedly and then crumble and fall. Because of the way they twitch and express pain, I could feel it. Speaking of the madness of brain, Jonathan is a sad man, but also my favorite character in how insane he is. Every time he is on screen, he does something ridiculous. Whether it is maniacal laughter, tormented and twisted facial expressions, irrational anger and behavior, or his extreme mother issues, he became the most memorable and interesting character for me in the end. Jonathan's voice actor said that Tomino told him to just flip out as much as you can. The first thing the viewers immediately notice that tells them that something is wrong with this character is that he walks like a T-Rex, rubbing his chest casually in public. Still, I could understand the pain he carried over his mother, and why he was the way he was. He was a tragic man who was born to weep. Yu is next in the long line of good and passionately written Tomino protagonists. Before this new age, where this new mass of anime protagonists are usually cowards and crybabies, there was a time where these types of protagonists were men. Not only that, his attitude and behavior feels as it can surpass Camille at times. Misunderstood, he tries to make his appeal to humanity to not get involved with cosmic machines that can destroy them all. He looks for reason and logic, though sometimes he betrays those and makes questionable decisions out of the emotions of his childhood trauma with his parents. He is from Orphan, a relic that is more like a ship that is not from Earth. The crew of the Orphan wanted to take off into space and take them to a new world. In order to achieve this, it's theorized that it would cause all humans on Earth to perish in order for it to gain the energy to do so. As terrible as that sounds, it's because many of the people at Orphan are terrible themselves and have grudges against humanity for different reasons. You realize this as the only one who questioned it and left to join the Novice Noah. The Orphan has powerful abilities and is a sort of judge with incredible powers that reminded me of the Ideon. Novice Noah is an obvious reference to Noah's Ark and is a ship made to counter the Orphan and save those in it from it. There is a desperate struggle for humanity to take control of this strange ship and to mass produce it. The problem is that the research they have isn't very reliable, as they cannot prove many of their theories. The way this ship functioned in this anime reminded me many times of the white base from Mobile Suit Gundam. Interestingly enough, brain power feels like a stepping stone towards Turner Gundam. The theater influence on Tomino begins to really explode here with how dramatic the characters are in their expressions. The voice actors here mirror their Turner Gundam characters. Yoko Kanno also composed the music to this first before Turna. Her music did well to add to the mysterious, tense, organic creepiness of the brains, and cosmic feelings of Orphan. It can be beautiful and haunting at the same time, or full of proud and inspiring energy. Watching Tomino's beautiful journey, specifically from victory to Turna, with Brain in the middle, was an uplifting experience because of where his mind was going with each series, as he spiritually healed and changed for the better through making these 3 incredible entries. I took a gamble with Brain early on, because you never know what you'll end up thinking, and had something to say that I wanted to wait until I completely finished it to say. Sometimes an anime can feel great, you'll praise it, then it blows up in your face at the finale, and you feel like a fool. I was nervous. I thought Tomino might let me down, as it is understandable and normal for a director to make both hits and misses. However, I gambled correctly, and was brought to tears by the end. The anime I finished before this did blow up in my face, but this time I won, and now I can say it. Brain Powered is good.